Hello there, I'm Taylor Rhodes. I am the writer and director of I Mean to Offend, which this video is clearly about. Today I just wanted to talk about what the show is about and just a little background story about it, because we've been making these episodes for about a month now and we've released 6 episodes so far, so I thought it's like, let people know what the show is about. I mean, it's very clear in a way, but there's a little more of a backstory. With this week, we are on a bye week. Next week, we are on a bye week. So it's kind of 2 weeks with no filming is kind of a bummer. So I thought I'd release this just to kind of put something out there, so you're wondering what's going on. This weekend, we start filming on a segment for something in the future, which I can't really go into deep detail about. And then along with next week, we will be finishing that segment, which will be the same thing. But after all that's done, we'll get back to the show. So what is I Mean to Offend? I Mean to Offend is a show that we film after hours at my job at the movie theater. And it's been a blast. I've actually had the show in mind. Well, it originally wasn't a show. It was originally a movie that I wrote like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it was always supposed to be a horror movie. It was always supposed to be, in a way, comedy, but more horror, and about a guy staying the night at the theater. He's going insane, but like there's all these weird customer situations throughout the entire thing. But I always wanted to make this. And finally, it just seemed like it was about time. We wrote an episode based off of a segment, well, a story from Reddit Tales from the Theater, which it was about a guy who said that he worked at a theater and a woman ran out of the bathroom and said that there was the most disgusting thing she's ever seen. And they go in and check it out, and somebody wiped their own period blood in the bathroom stall. So I was like, okay, we have to do that. So we started out with that episode with Derek, who I work with, and Jarrett, who I work with, and Rose. She is actually one of my best friends, actually the wife of one of my best friends. So it's pretty cool to get everybody involved. I mean, we film after hours. It's like past 12:30 when we start shooting at night, and it's actually a lot quicker to shoot the episodes. But it's a complete blast. With episode 1, we followed the story from Tales from the Theater. Episode 2, we kind of I brought a story back from 3 years ago. Somebody I work with, he had this idea. Wouldn't it be funny if like you're sitting in a movie or whatever, and there's a couple, and because we had this issue with our pipes leaking. So the thing was, wouldn't it be funny if he thinks that the ceiling leaked on him, but really it was a couple getting a hand job and the guy came on the back of his head. It's super gross, but it was always it was always funny, and there's always that pinnacle moment in a Kevin Smith movie where something super gross happens, such as like the first Clerks. The girl has sex with a dead body in the bathroom. Mallrats, it's the shit pretzel, you know. Freaking Clerks 2, it was the donkey show, Zack and Miri, it was the diarrhea plop and everything. So there's always those moments in those movies where it's super gross, and I always wanted to do one of those, so that's what the Cum idea actually came from. The episode is available on YouTube, same as these other ones, but episode 2 is the only one that you must be 17 to watch, because that's a little risky. Each episode is each episode so far has been written by me, except episode 5, which is Retraining 101, was an idea that came from Derek, who plays in the show. He thought it'd be neat to have an episode where we shoot all the way through without cutting. There are 2 cuts in there, and if you look close enough, you'll be able to see them. But it was a completely improv episode. The only thing that we had in mind was the ending, so like everything else was improv. And that's pretty much how the show is like I'll write an episode and Derek will chime in, Jacob, who plays the high guy, will chime in, and come up with ideas and everything, and then we'll just throw it into the episode to add on to it, just to make it a lot funnier for you all. And there's a lot of inside jokes for us because we work at the theater. We have the customer situations, which yes, a lot of the situations are based off of real situations, comicalized, of course, such as the VIP seats. Whenever we told people if you charge them a VIP seat, we'll get the shit for it. So that's that point of that episode. Episode 4, which is the ignorance of an usher, with the old man yelling at Jarrett. That actually happened to me, where a woman came up to me and told me I was completely ignorant for ruining their movie, even though it was the end credits and I had to clean up the theater. So it's stuff like that. And then episode 6, which is season 2's episode, which came out on Saturday, is our Clerks episode. The reason for this whole show is I've always wanted to. The only reason why I'm in filmmaking because of Clerks and Kevin Smith and all of that, and even if for my senior project in school, I was going to make a movie that was like Clerks. Actually, Hollywood Video, which is a video store around here, I actually reached out to them and they were going to let me film there and everything, which would have been cool, because now it's not there anymore. But unfortunately, things happened in my own personal life where it didn't get to work out. So, kind of went on the back burner and everything. So it was really exciting to get this show out there, because I've always tried to find a way to show my respect to like Clerks and Kevin Smith, because I'm here. I mean, like these. Well, not that middle one right here. That's Jacob's movie, but that one and that one that I've been involved in. I mean, I wouldn't be doing all that if it wasn't for Kevin Smith. And of course, obviously, I have a lot of people in my life that help me through. Maybe. But with episode 6, it was we shot the entire episode in black and white to give that old Clerks vibe. There's little subtle hints to different things, such as if you notice in the part where there's medieval music playing, he's watching Lord of the Rings, but he's clearly not, which is a throwback to Clerks when Randall was watching Star Wars, and he's clearly not watching Star Wars, and stuff like that. But each episode's been a blast, and we'll get back to filming, not this weekend, not next weekend, but the week after, and we've got some great episodes. In fact, this season that we're shooting is going to be written by more people, such as I wrote the first episode. The second episode that we are filming is written by Jacob, who plays the High Guy. One of the episodes that we'll be filming is written by Derek. Another episode that's going to be filmed is written by Jarrett. So everybody's throwing in their in an episode, which makes me extremely happy to get everybody involved, because almost everybody in the show actually works at the theater, except for Jacob, Rose, Noah. Rose and Noah are the couple that you would see in episode 2, and Matt, who played in the VIP episode. But everybody else actually works at the theater, which is really cool to get people at the theater into the show. And I didn't think that the show would kind of set off like that. I mean, we're in the few hundred views and stuff, but even still, I never thought like it would reach that. And I'm happy that there are people out there that are actually enjoying the show. And I hope you continue to watch, because we have a lot of great things coming, especially with this next season. So be patient, because this next season is going to be a blast. So hope you keep watching. This is Taylor Rhodes, and yeah, thank you.